Good morning, friends. I just woke up and the sun is streaming into my room. And this is one of the last mornings that I'll get to wake up in this room. I am moving tomorrow. A little update from a video I shared a few days ago when I was really stressed about looking for a place to live. That was like the moment where I had just reached my limit and I just was really ready to let go of control, and I did. And then the next day, a message just came to me. Someone just messaged me saying, like, I have a place for you, and we connected, and it and it just all worked out like completely effortlessly. So now I'm moving tomorrow. And I'm really, really looking forward to it and really grateful. And I'm really grateful to be here. I was reflecting last night on, this is my third time being an au pair, and it's just completely changed my life. It's how I was able to leave the United States for the first time and come to Europe. And then it's how I was able to come to Amsterdam and live there for a year. And then I was able to stay in the Netherlands while I just continued to sort things out. And now I've gotten to live in this beautiful place up in the north of Holland. Just beautiful, beautiful land and beautiful nature. And I'm really grateful to have gotten to spend all of this time with these families and just learning so much about life. And I really feel I followed my heart here, and now I'm following my heart leaving. And it's just so beautiful, and I'm so excited for this next chapter. And I'm really feeling like I want to pull some tarot for this next chapter, and not just for myself, but for the collective, for anyone out there seeing this, resonating. Whether feel you're stepping into a new beginning, a new chapter, however you're feeling, I am. My intention in this is for a collective reading, and I am, I'm calling in. This is how I like to start every day. Not necessarily with tarot, but I start every day with these words in some way or another. I call in the great spirit of the universe into my heart. I call in all of my benevolent ancestors and spirit guides, and I'm going to call in all of our benevolent ancestors and spirit guides. I'm calling in spirit of Mother Earth, Gaia, spirit of water, fire, and air. And I always love to ask to help create space and unconditional love in my heart for all. And then today I am asking for just a message of any kind through tarot this morning on this next chapter for all of us receiving this reading. Any messages that want to come through the cards. Just to share anything about this chapter ahead, this new beginning, this rebirth for the collective. Okay. I'm feeling like pulling a little spread. I'm feeling this is where we have been, this is where we are now, and this is where we're going. This is the Five of Swords. I always like to look at these cards intuitively first before reading them. And full disclosure, friends, if you haven't seen one of these videos yet, I'm by no means a tarot expert. It's very funny. Someone reached out to me recently and said, like, hey, like, I've been wanting to do tarot, and but like, I don't know what I'm doing, and so I just like get in my head and don't do it. And I just told them, like, there's really no right or wrong way to do it. Like, just what I'm doing to learn is, you know, I'm sharing these videos like literally just for fun. But then, you know, I've just been doing it whenever I feel called to it. Like, there's been times where that was daily. There's been times where that was multiple times a day. As of lately, it's like, you know, a couple times a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. But I'm just playing with it. And that's how I learn. I know that, like, you know, after doing that for, you know, my thought is like a couple years, I'm going to know the entire deck eventually. And then I'm going to just know what each card means for me and, you know, how it resonates. So yeah, so for anyone else out there, like, curious about tarot, wanting to learn about tarot, like, nobody is an expert just immediately. So, you know, this is how you learn. But I always look at the cards intuitively before I open the book. And this card, you know, especially in this deck, like, a lot of these cards have like a lot of color. This one obviously doesn't. So for this being where we've been, I see like, you see like those worms too. I see like bleakness, and I see a lack of color, and I see a lack of like vibrancy, and I see like struggle. Like, that's what I get from this. Like, we have been in this place of darkness, in this place of just lack of vibrancy in our life, and lack of passion, and we've really like felt like we've had to work. We really have felt like we've had to try really hard. We've had to prove ourselves, prove our enoughness, prove our worth, and that's just really drained us of our life force. And also with those worms, like, just getting this connection of really viewing ourselves in a really ugly way, like really viewing ourselves in a unloving way, and just really struggling to love ourselves. But yeah, I feel that life up until recently, perhaps has been a challenge, but we can feel this shift happening, and we are moving into this new space, and we are leaving this energy behind. Let me read a bit deeper into that. Wow, yeah. The Five of Swords is self-destruction. That's where we've been. Yet another card of warning. The Five of Swords depicts the destruction of the self. You'll be lured into another situation or argument you know to avoid. Your selfishness and desire for power will lead you to defeat. Pain and discord will result. Yeah, reading that, I get a big sense of like ego consciousness. So we have been living our life up until recently in that ego-based consciousness, and that's just what we come into this life operating as. Like, I spent the last few years working with children, and I have learned so much I've learned such a deeper love for children, but something I always have found challenging is, you know, learning to surrender to like, oh, like your children, and you're some of my greatest teachers because you're so pure, and you're, you know, you are very connected with reality, in that, like, you know, you're not like anxious and thinking about things, like you're just being. And that is true. And also simultaneously true, children are completely led by their egos. You know, so it's very about them, and, you know, and that's why, like, you know, when things don't go their way, like, it feels like the whole world is falling apart. But, you know, that's how we come into the world, and then, you know, as we mature and grow up, like, we very much still stay in that ego-based consciousness. You know, it evolves and it changes, and then of course we add in all the other parts, like adulting and anxiety and depression, and, you know, all of these great fun things. But we, I got distracted. I was like checking myself out. But that's where we've been. That's what I'm getting. And we are, just thinking of checking myself out and ego-based consciousness. But I'm grateful that, like, I didn't used to check myself out. So, like, me checking myself out now is, I actually feel like, less ego-based consciousness. Because for whatever reason, my ego-based consciousness learned to hate myself. And so I only started checking myself out very recently, and it is completely from the heart-based consciousness that I know we're moving into now. And yeah, it's just from a place of love, like deep, deep love. So yeah, I don't actually feel like I have much left to say on this card, but it's just, yeah, we've been in that ego-based consciousness. We've been in thinking that, you know, thinking that that's what we had to do, but we're stepping into this new beginning and beginning to understand, or maybe we really deeply are understanding, that there's a different way. You know, like, maybe this is completely new to you, but you're still here resonating, like, and that maybe that's the thing that you're beginning to understand, is like, well, clearly this way is not working because I'm miserable. So yeah, let's step into where we're at and where we're going with curiosity. Where we're at, this beautiful card. This is also swords. What number is this? Oh, this is the 6. So we have the 5, and now we have the 6 of swords. Oh, and I love this card. I've gotten this one before. I love the rainbow. I love the rain on these swords. Like, I am loving this reading right now. Like we have the 5 of swords, and now we have, like, this water washing away this, all of this despair and self-destruction and suffering. And in the rainbow, like, the color, the vibrancy is coming in. That's where we're at now. This is where we are at now. There is vibrancy coming into our life, and we can feel it. We can feel things changing. We can feel the light, the sun on our skin. We can just feel, whether we understand it or not, there is this shift happening, and there's hope. And that is exactly what this card is about. Hope at last, travel. The 6 of Swords is a card indicating a recovery from difficult times. Hope is on the horizon. Things will get better. It's important to rest, revitalize, and surround yourself with joyful friends. Plan a trip, short or long. Even getting out of town for the weekend will further lift your spirits. So yeah, maybe you have a trip coming up. Maybe similar to me, maybe you're moving soon. You know, so something big, something small, maybe on the horizon. But I you may have also been connecting with rest, or like feeling the call to rest as of recently. Maybe surrounding yourself with friends. Yeah, I relate to this so much. Like I've really been in these final weeks here, like any opportunity I have to rest, I've just really been taking it, because I have had this sense that like now is the time to rest and slow down, because life is about to speed up. Like, and it's important to really like honor ourselves in these moments when we can slow down, so that we can, you know, continue practicing that when life gets, you know, just color vibrancy like exploding out of everywhere, which I feel is coming for this collective. Like I feel like, you know, and I can relate to that so strongly personally on this individual level, but then I know as the collective, when you take it out really into the entire world, like we have been in this period of darkness and bleakness and so much pain and suffering and hurt and control and ego, and you know, and that you can see that reflected so strongly. And there is hope. I'm feeling called to share right now, like literally just last night I commented on a video someone shared about, like, it was a video from Titanic where the band plays their final song on the ship as it's going down, and the post said like, being positive in America right now, and you know, it was depressing but also kind of funny, but I commented on it and said like, wow, like I really can imagine that this is what it's like, you know, I'm over here living in the Netherlands, and you know, I have, of course, loved ones and friends and family back home, but like I basically just said like, I'm sending you all so much love and support, like, and someone commented on it and said like, thank you for your love and support, but like we're actually stronger than we've ever been, like, and she was just, and I commented back, and then she commented back again, but it was a beautiful little interaction, but there was this essence of strength and hope. And like, I have had this sense even before this conversation that in the world and collectively, like, we're seeing this, we're seeing it in a way collectively that we never have before. You know, like some of us have been really aware of this for a while, some of us, but I really feel like all of us are beginning to become aware of like the way things have been, the way we have just been flowing in this reality that doesn't light us up, that doesn't give us any, that there's no vibrancy, and that there's a way for things to be different. And this is where we are. There is hope. We're waking up to the reality, and we are stepping out of ego-based consciousness into heart-based consciousness, and we are beginning to reclaim our freedom in whatever ways that is for us. You know, that's going to look different for everybody, but that is truly what I feel is happening on a worldwide collective level. All right. So our final card, this is where we are going collectively. Ooh. We have the 6 of Cups. A beautiful, beautiful card with this tree and these colorful roots growing down. And then with it, cups, this I know has to do with emotions and the element of water. So what I receive from this is we are putting down new roots collectively. We are going into our past and memories, and we are reconnecting with our inner children, and we're remembering and learning how to play, and we are, you know, putting down these new roots to secure this foundation for this new, completely new way of living that, like, has always been inside of us as humans and collectively, and just as like it's in our spirit, it's in our DNA, it's in our essence, um, this reality, and we have forgotten about it, and so we're connecting with nature, we're getting back to our roots to set down these new roots, to reconnect with these old roots, and we are remembering who we are. We're remembering who we are in all ways, like who we are individually, who we are collectively, who we are in our essence, like what we actually are. Like we're all the universe, like spiritual beings having a human experience, but we're all this one source energy. And that may not make any sense to you right now, but is that is what I truly know that we are, and I feel that collectively we're all like on our way to remembering that, you know. And of course, not everyone is meant to know that, um, and that's okay. Like, but those of us resonating with this, those of us on this path, like this is what we're remembering little by little, and it's just who you are. It's your power. It's your I feel like right to know that like we're all source consciousness. We're all the entire universe. We're all God, just in human form. And you know, and we're in human form, we're divinity in human form, and so we just have complete freedom to follow our hearts and do what we want from that heart-based consciousness. Like, I know for me, when I first started to learn this, it was confusing to me, because it was like, well, if I just do whatever I want, because you know, we can think like, well, if we just do whatever we want, then like that's why we live in the world that we live in. And no, we live in the world that we live in because people have been doing what they want out of ego-based consciousness. Me, 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 me. And heart-based consciousness is when you're truly following your heart, there is just light and love and hope and infinite colors and possibilities, and we're led by the universe, we're led by our higher selves, we're led by that source consciousness, and it's actually the best thing we can do for ourselves and for everyone, because it leads us to create things that have never been created, and to do things that have never been done, and it's like it's for ourselves, like in the sense that like we get to thrive and deeply love ourselves and deeply know ourselves and do just the things that we want to do, that alone just makes us so happy. And it's just such a gift to yourself, but then it's also a gift to the collective, because us doing what we want to do, there's so many things. Like, again, we're birthing new things into reality, things that have never been done before, even if that's just being ourselves. Like, we're birthing that new self into the reality for others to witness and to see and to be inspired by. And of course, not everybody's going to be inspired by it. A lot of people are going to be triggered by it because maybe they're not quite there yet, and they see you being yourself, and then that triggers them, but that has nothing to do with you. But I guarantee you're going to inspire more people than trigger. People are going to see you being you, and they're going to be like, oh wow, like they're being themselves. And then that is going to be, you know, in some way or another, it's going to inspire and lead people to then do the same. And that is this ripple effect of this whole rebirth collectively that we're going through. Like, yeah, I feel that so strongly. I'm going to read this card on the Six of Cups. I have had this one before, but yes, so this is where we're going. This is memories, childhood, and joy. A beautiful card, implications. A beautiful card of implications. The Six of Cups focuses on the magic and innocence of childhood. The roots of years past are alight with color and vibrancy. Look back upon them Get lost in your memories. Old friends may surface and seek you out. All reunions will be joyful. Enjoy simple pleasures and wonders in all areas of your life. But yeah, I'm hearing this song, this beautiful Native American song called I think it's called like The Circle, but it's talking about like the circle of life, and there's some words said in it that say like the life of a man, but the life of a human is a circle from childhood to childhood. And so I feel this individually very strongly, but I really do feel this collectively as well, that it's like, we were all children, and then it's just like this way that we've been living collectively really forced us to forget that. And I don't know if that's just like a part of life. I don't think it has to be. I'm actually thinking of like Native American tribes and a lot of like native tribes, like just throughout history and even still existing today, like shamans, for example. I know that like they start that when they're children, but I just know that there are cultures and there are ways of living where like children, grow and they mature and they become men and women, but like they don't lose that. So I don't feel like that is the way it has to be. But most humans in our collective today, in our modern societies, through this ego-based consciousness and the way that the world has been, that we have, we were children, but then we lost that because we thought we had to, because we thought that was the way things had to be. But we're remembering that no, like that is the way of being. Because friends, that is living in heart-based consciousness. That is like living through your inner child. That is in a big way living your heart-based consciousness, because you're just following your heart. And and the mind and the ego is still there, and you learn to balance it, and it's a journey, don't get me wrong. But it is following your heart, and that's a big part, and I've been sharing this in a lot of my messages, that is following your heart and creating things and like your passions. That is playing. It's playing. Like I've, especially when I work with kids, like it's like I've really learned to like play like as a child, like with toys and things like that, and I've had a great time doing that. But I've learned too that like my jobs that I'm now stepping into, I just get to play because I love them, and everything I'm doing, like even recording these videos, like I'm just playing because I have fun doing it. Like it lights me up. It lights me up. That is, when you're following your heart, when you're following your passions, like it will light you up, and that is play. So we're here with this hope of this new beginning, and where we're moving into, where some of you may already be. You stepped into, like, we are playing. We are remembering how to play. We're remembering to connect with our inner child and let that lead us through our heart-based consciousness into just beautiful, abundant, new way of living. I mean, and it's a new way, but it's really always been the way. We just forgot, and we're remembering. And so we're reconnecting with those memories and those roots of who we actually are. And we're rebuilding this whole new foundation for us to live the rest of this life and for generations to come. And yeah. I am feeling like that is where I want to end this. Spirit, do I have any more words I want to share? All right, I do have a little more words I want to share. I want to share that if you're here receiving this, resonating, if you're still here, then I have a message from Spirit for all of us. There is something that you want to create, and you felt a pull towards it, and you feel really scared. Your mind feels really scared. Some thoughts you may have been having are, what will people think? How will people view me? How will my story that I have lived my life living change by doing this thing? And Spirit is here to share to us to trust our hearts, trust the universe where we are being led. We are being led exactly where we're meant to be. And it is going to usher in such a big way this new beginning. This, I am connecting with we just had the Chinese New Year, and it's the year of the snake, and this letting go of our old self and going into our new self, and there will be resistance of the mind. You most likely feel it right now, like connecting with this dream, with this pull of your heart. You can actively feel the resistance of the mind. You can feel your mind picking everything apart because it so deeply does not want you to do this thing, because it knows the power in it. It knows the transformation that's going to happen. It knows that there is so much unknown in doing this thing, and that is terrifying to our mind, because our mind wants to know, it wants to protect, it wants to plan, it wants to look ahead every step, and this thing that you want to do, it just can't. It can't know. It can't know what's going to happen. This thing probably doesn't even make sense to not only your mind, but perhaps even your heart. Like, it's something that is just so different, but you know that you're feeling this pull towards it, and you don't know. I'm hearing, I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know something's starting right now. And I hear from that, I got another message from Spirit the other day about this thing, about there's no rush, you don't need to put this pressure on yourself to do it right now, but just, continue to feel into your heart, continue to trust your heart. I want to say, allow your heart to hold your ego's hand in this process, but don't let the fear stop you from doing it. You're meant to do this for however long you do it for. You're meant to step into this unknown and allow this part of you to be seen in a pretty big way. I'm hearing and feeling, and it's gonna be scary for our mind, but it's gonna be liberating for our heart and our soul, and it's going to be freeing, and I'm hearing light and love for this deep, dark part of us that has perhaps felt a lot of shame, and it hasn't known love in this life, and doing this thing, whatever it is for you, is going to just free it completely, and it's gonna be a big catalyst ushering in this new beginning. Whew, okay. So I'm gonna take that message into my heart, and I know that this thing is happening, and I'm not gonna share it just yet, but I will be sharing it soon. All right. Is where I'll end this. Thank you, Spirit, for this beautiful, beautiful message in the cards and it came through to anyone out there receiving this. Thank you all so much. Thank you, sun, for shining on us this morning. And I'm going to go enjoy my last day in this beautiful home with these beautiful humans and this beautiful land. And I will connect with you again soon, friends. Much love.